Let's keep that energy up, that motivation. Are you ready? I'm ready. 3, 2, 1, let's go!
Shay lost questions. How may I assist you in your weight loss journey? All right, you guys, welcome back to another episode of Shay Loss Answers. Let's get it going right now. We're wasting no time. We're going right to the tweets. What do you got for me? Shay, what can I do if my family doesn't really care about their weight loss as much as I do and they don't want to buy as much fruits and veggies as I want them to? What can I do to eat better and not get influenced by my family's diet? That is a tough one, I got to admit. Some of you who are still living at home with your parents and your mom and dad are in charge of buying all the food in the house, you're going to have a lot more difficult time if they're not willing to buy those, fresh fruits and vegetables. Produce is expensive. It's sad that bad food is so cheap. You can go to the dollar menu and get 6 cheeseburgers for $6. And, if you go buy a couple apples, it's going to be more than that. So it's discouraging that that's the way our society is that the bad, crappy food is more cheap and available than the real nourishing, wholesome food that we should be eating in our bodies. If you have the lottage, start a garden. Seeds are really cheap. You'd be surprised. You can go buy some cucumber seeds, some maybe carrots, start to eat fresh fruits from the land. It might take a little bit more work, but it'll be worth it in the long run. Next time you go in a grocery store, start to look in the grocery store at how much of that stuff is just processed, boxed, bagged, plastic packaged crap. And then start to look around and say, what are the real whole foods that are good for my body? And they're all on like the outsides, right? The produce is like on the outside and all like the crap is in the middle. And you start to realize how much our society has that's food that isn't really food. It's just like pre-packaged processed stuff that is really not good for your body. Next question from the YouTubes, Peter Nichols asks, hey Shay, there's a stereotype of people in LA being more health conscious and having all these crazy diets. Do you think that it is true? And if so, did it affect your weight loss journey? Do you feel more pressure to lose weight once you moved out there? When we first moved to LA, we definitely saw, the different lifestyles. There's, raw, vegan raw. Yeah, there's a bunch of different weird things out here. That just is, it's not because it's LA, it's just whenever you put more people in a place, there's more opinions. So that, there's more capita of weird people. That's why there's more crime in big cities, because there's just more people there. It's not necessarily LA or whatever. But yeah, when we first moved out here, I was like, oh, look at all these freaking hoity-toity hippies, like eating all their organic, fresh, ground leaves that were only grass-fed from chickens who were raised with loving massages every day. And I was like, what? But I think what it really made me realize is that people were overcomplicating food. Food should be simple. It shouldn't be hard. An apple, that's easy, eat the apple. Whole grain bread with some, spinach on it and some avocado and maybe some cheese on there. Make it simple. Don't overthink these things. All right, we go to Twitter. Christina asks, Shay Carl, my ankles have been hurting when I walk/run. Do you know anything I can do about this? By the way, I'm the biggest fan of the Shay Tarts. Thanks, Christina. I have a phobia of spraining my ankle. I've actually been prone to ankle spraining throughout my life. And when I very first started on this last Shay loss journey, I had a really bad sprained ankle. One thing that I did, which might seem counterintuitive, is I started running on the beach in the sand barefoot. And I didn't go fast. I was just barely jogging, a little bit faster than a fast-paced walk. But that sand, because it was uneven, forced me to focus on where I was setting my feet, and it strengthened my tendons because the uneven ground, I think, strengthened the tendons in my ankles. I think I've been prone to spraining my ankles because I was overweight. The more weight we have on our bodies, the more stress and pressure you have on your ligaments and joints and bones and skeleton system. And it just takes time to build muscles around, those tendons and joints to support it. So it's gonna take time. You're gonna have some pain. Like I said, this isn't an easy process. It's gonna hurt. You're gonna have some aches and pains. It's okay. Your body is really adaptive. That's one thing that I've learned by doing this whole Shay loss thing, is that our bodies are amazing. You will be shocked at how strong your body is. So, be a little hard on yourself. Push, don't injure yourself. You got to be smart. There's a fine line there, but give give your body some credit. You know, it's strong and it can overcome things and it will adapt. You can do some rolling things. I know there's some exercises you can look up where you just, you know, maybe roll your ankles, or like on a tennis ball, you can roll your ankles back and forth, but you got to strengthen those muscles. Another question from Twitter, Ace77Man asks, Shay Carl, at what point did the 3 to 5 mile runs go to higher numbers? And what drove you past it mentally? Hashtag help a fatty out, bro. What's up, Ace? Love you, bro. I know you. That was weird. We've never kissed. Anyways, thanks for the question, man. For me, I was just competitive with myself. I remember when I first started riding my bike, I had this little pedometer, and I would like go 5 miles. And so then the next day I thought, oh, I went 5 miles yesterday. I got to go at least 5.5 today. I would always try to up the ante just a little bit. Like, don't kill yourself. But I'd always want to say, I want to do a little bit better than the day before. So, you know, you start out running a half a mile. Maybe say I'm going to run a half a mile for 4 days. And then the next 4 days, I'm going to run 3/4 of a mile. And the next 4 days, I'm going to run a mile. And it's like, you got to just build it. You know, you're building this little thing, you know, little by little, and just keep pushing yourself a little bit past where you were before. Expect more out of your body, you know what I'm saying? And your body will adapt. It'll get stronger at those base levels. And then as you grow, you can, you know, get higher and higher. I remember the first 10-mile run I went on. When I got back, I was like, I just ran 10 miles, and it was so exciting to hit that number. You know, when I registered for the LA Marathon, there was no way I could run that thing, not even half of it. But I said, I'm going to run that marathon. I can't do it right now, but it's in 4 months. So I'm going to register for that thing. I'm going to have my registration paper, glue it to your fridge. Shay Carl registered for the LA Marathon. I knew that that thing was coming up. So I knew that I had to push myself every day to get up so that I could be able to do that, because that date was coming. That date that I was going to run and be on that starting line was rapidly approaching. So I knew that I had to push myself every day more and more to be ready for it. So that's what I encourage you to do. Don't wait till you're in shape to go sign up for a 5K or a race. Register now. Set a goal. Say, I'm going to run a 5K this summer. I'm going to run a 10K this summer. Find one in your local area, whatever it is. Get online and register yourself for it. Set that mark and then start working towards it. And then once you hit it, do another one, you know, and just keep going. Anyways, great question. Thanks, Ace Man. All right, we're gonna go to the YouTubes to get some video responses. I actually wanted to talk to some of you. I've seen in the comments have been asking about insanity and all different kinds of workouts. You can do whatever you want, you guys. You don't have to run. You don't have to run marathons. There's a million different things. You could be a rollerblader, you know, you could bike, you could bungee jump. Well, that's just falling. You could get on a pogo stick. There's a lot of different exercises. I've seen insanity, you know, whatever you do, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to let you guys know that. If you do jumping jacks, if you lift weights, push-ups, pull-ups, anything, just move your body. Like, I'm not saying you have to run or you have to do a certain type of exercise. Just get your blood moving and get your heart pumping. All right, I wanted to go to this video response because a couple weeks ago I talked about gaining weight and why would you want to gain weight. But some people genuinely do want to gain weight and, you know, get a little bit more mass to them. So let's go to this video response from My Life as Ray.
I'm Raylan and I'm 18 and I'm from British Columbia, Canada. And I was just wondering, what foods would you recommend eating if you want to gain weight? I'm like 85 pounds and I'm 5'1". People they accuse me of being anorexic and bulimic, which is really dumb because I eat all the time and I guess I have a high metabolism. Since I was about 12, started noticing that I wanted to be more shapely, if that makes any sense. So I do eat a lot, but it's mostly junk food and soup and stuff. So if you have any food you recommend me eating or things to do to gain weight, that would be really helpful. Thank you.
All right, Ray, great question. You look fine. I don't think you need to gain a lot of weight, but I know that some people, 85 pounds is probably, you should weigh at least 100. I mean, come on, you need to be at least a hundo, Ray. You are a little thin. And it sounds like you answered your own question, really, when you asked it. If you're eating just junk food and soup, that's not real hearty food. You should be, if you want to gain weight, you should be eating things like peanut butter and honey and banana sandwiches. You should have granola with nuts and potatoes, and there's a lot of different things, tortillas. Just, you need to eat some good solid food. I'll leave some recipes below. Mommy Tard has some great recipes and different things, but you need to really put some substantial food in your body. You're gonna have to put those calories away and definitely eat. And then exercise. You can lift weights. If you want to gain, you don't want to gain flab, you want to gain some muscle. Don't be afraid of doing some push-ups and doing some pull-ups and stuff. A lot of girls I know in the past are like, well, I don't want to get all bulky and look like one of those bodybuilders. Trust me, you will not. Colette used to lift weights every single day, and she would lift weights hard. We used to go to the gym, and she would, she'd be doing push presses and bench press and bicep curls. And you see my wife, like, she looks good. She's got these little muscles. It takes a lot to get like, big and ripped like those ladies that you see who are up there and you're like, ah! It's like, is that a man or a woman? You're not gonna get like that. Just trust me. So don't be afraid to put some of those really whole, hearty foods in your body, and then exercise. You don't want to gain, just like a big belly. You don't want to be like 85 pounds and then add 15 pounds of belly to you. So do some push-ups, pull-ups, practical exercises where you don't need weights, you don't have to go to a gym, but you got to eat. You got to count those calories and have some real food. And like I said, I'll leave some recipes below. All right, guys, thank you so much again for joining us on another episode of Shayla's Shay Answers. Remember this, you only get one body, okay? One. This is your only one that you get, all right? So take care of it. And have we gone to the pictures yet? We haven't gone to the pictures. Let's roll the picture. That's my favorite part. I can't believe I forgot about it. Roll it. Your guys' pictures. Keep sending them in, and listen, extra bonus points if you're wearing a Shay Carl shirt in these before and after pictures. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Links below.